Blind Date's a show that I created about 3 years ago, and it's a clown show. I play a French clown. Well, we play a French clown. I should explain. Renee, Amber, and I are role sharing because there are actually several different women who are trained to play Mimi. So depending on what night you come, you'll see one of us choosing a gentleman from the audience to be a date with us on stage for 90 minutes. Well, we start the show by mingling in the lobby, and that's where we're trying to get a sense of who might be there on a given night that might be a good guy to invite up on stage. We never force anybody. No. Although in the history of 300 shows, we've only ever had one guy say no. And then he came afterwards and said, I spent the whole show kicking myself. If I come back tomorrow, will you pick me? Like, no, you can't. So
it's a pretty gentle process.
Yeah.
We kind of get a feel for who might be willing, even though they might not know it, to open up to us and the audience.
Yeah, our rule of thumb is if you were at a cocktail party, who in the lobby would you like to continue having a conversation with? We're just looking for someone nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's usually based on a spark, you know.
Yes.
Who do I get a
chemistry.
good feeling for?
Yeah. Then we don't tell the guy that we're picking him either. We try to keep that a surprise. And then what?
And then we spend the next 90 minutes essentially making a play together.
Yeah.
So
getting to know each other.
Yeah, and there's some you know, magic of theater involved. So it's not just an interview process. You'll see.
We don't want to reveal the special effects right now, but there is an explosion at one point.
Yeah, there is.
And a car chase.
Yeah. And a dam breaks. What?
What?
And floods.
Yeah, sort of, metaphorically. I would say that there are dates from the past that certainly stand out that are, for whatever reason. It can be for a variety of reasons, but there'll be ones that we go, oh, remember that guy in Denver? He was so sweet.
Yeah, like the incredibly fit Twinkie salesman from Boulder, Colorado.
What? That was one of your dates?
Yeah.
Oh.
Amazing.
A fit Twinkie salesman. That's fantastic.
In his 60s.
I went on a date with a 6'6" Marine in St. Paul. He stands out in my mind. He's 6'6". My God, and really good looking. So, but actually, if you were to sort of have a look at is there a type that we all go for? The spectrum is vast. There isn't a type, I would say.
No, and this show has really made me realize how. My first impression really needs to be powered through so that I can really see the essence of the person I'm talking to. So that snap judgment that I used to make within 30 seconds of meeting someone has to be challenged. And this show has shown me that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I think I've learned from Blind Date that men are great. Like across the board. And I have a lot more empathy for them than I used to because we see again and again guys just trying to get it right and be great and nice and awesome, and my heart breaks for them a little bit when you see how nervous they can be. They're not always, but then it's our job to make them comfortable. The show is different every night depending on the guy, and then it's doubly different depending on which one of us is in the role. I love watching Renee do the show. We come from the same training background, so we both grew up at Loose Moose and learned to improvise there, and then professionally kind of went off on our own tracks for a while. We kind of over the years have gone apart, come back together, and have worked with each other under many circumstances. Lots of people always ask me, is it hard for you to watch other people do it? And I love it because she will make choices that I don't make, or Renee has life experience stories that aren't mine because we use our own personal history. So I've actually gotten to know my longtime friend better from watching her do the show, and I like her even more.
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
It's true though.
Yeah. I mean, I was lucky in that Rebecca did a lot of the legwork creating this clown, obviously. But it's one of the things she made clear at the beginning was that the clown, Mimi, is yourself. So, you know, we are watching a version of Rebecca or a version of myself, and I've learned a lot about playing Mimi from Rebecca, but I've also been given enormous permission to just be myself on stage, and it's been a bit transformative for me as well, as a performer, to just get up and be given permission to be who I am.
Yeah, it's kind of liberating. Plus, it would be so weird if I was like, I need you to imitate me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I would not want to see that, actually.
I would be trembling. Yeah, no.
This is my version of you. Ugh, terrible.
Well, we both are in supporting roles, so we are, one major role or facet is that we are scenographers. So that's a term that was kind of coined at the Loose Moose Theater for people who have an improvised setup of different settings on the stage using furniture or themselves or whatever might be needed to facilitate a scene that's already happening. So we primarily act in that role, but we're also minglers.
Social activators, vetters.
He is the best host of a party you'll ever meet.
I fail without this man being my co-host, which we are together.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm the right wing, you're the left wing.
Yeah.
And whatever lady we meet might be a lucky center on that line.
Exactly. What? So you'll see us a lot backstage if you're backstage, and occasionally on stage. So we are playing scenographers, which will accent the stage with furniture and props and characters.
Waiter, cop.
Yeah, we've had
unruly neighbors.
We've had psychologists, gamblers. We've had
statues in a park.
Yeah. We've even
joggers going by in the park.
We've even played ducks once in a park.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah. I played some creepy construction guy in the park late at night as well.
Yes.
Anything a good date needs. A guy has paid in Winnipeg. The guy paid us to leave.
Oh, that's right. $100.
Yeah. He gave us money to leave. They were at the apartment scene, and we came in as the neighbors to be like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?" And he's like, "Boom, cash, get out of here."
Yeah.
Gave us money to leave. It was beautiful. So then I went to the booth and got one of the tech guys, knocked on the door again. "Hey, just wondering if you want our buddy to stay away too?" And he paid him. Yeah.
That was
fun. It was nice. In an ideal night, our roles are actually very much on stage anyway, minimized, because things are going well and we don't want to take away from what's going on with the date. If we come in, one of our agendas is how do we accent him as the hero, the date, that is our audience volunteer? How can we elevate him to be seen as the hero more and more?
And make him comfortable, as well as to be himself and to know that he's not alone in this situation. Yeah, and make him a champion. And like, hey, buddy.
Indeed.
Well, my experience of having done the show for 3 years now is that the audience falls in love with the guy as well. I think they have tremendous empathy for him because unlike other shows, there's a real connection between the audience and their representative who's up on stage. And so you really feel them leaning forward and wanting him to do well. And you'll hear people leaving the theaters having conversations of, if that was me, I would have done this differently. If that was me, I would have done just what he did. And that's really exciting to me theatrically, that there's such a tie, that there's the what would I do question is in the mind of the audience all the time. Yeah,
and I think what I've noticed with the fellow who comes up on stage, but also in general in the audience, is that there's almost like a sense of relief at the end of the night, where they've watched someone battle a demon, almost, like the demon of fear. And it takes a lot of courage to be up there. But without exception, every one of these guys has succeeded. And I think for the whole audience, it's an amazing experience. And I think everybody leaves a little bit more open-hearted. Yeah.
Well, because how often do you actually get to, in real time, witness another human transform right in front of you? We get to see that in sports, where we see someone striving and hopefully succeeding. I can't think of a lot of plays where that necessarily happens.
No.
And it's amazing for us when we sit in the chair to sit that close to someone and watch them start off nervous or afraid and then relax and then have moments where they share truthful things about themselves and 200 people respond, and you can see them sort of start to realize, I think, what a lot of actors love about the job is that it's really nice to have people clap for you sometimes. Makes you feel good.
Especially when you're not working for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're just being yourself.
Yeah.
And you say, well, this happened to me when I was in high school, and you know, there's spontaneous applause because people recognize themselves up there. That's pretty great.